The cardboard composting secret they don't want you to know. If you're serious about building living soil that keeps producing year after year, this is one of those topics that quietly changes everything. Before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to Evergreen Garden, drop a comment telling me what you grow, and share this with another gardener who's still throwing cardboard in the trash. What I'm about to explain is not trendy, not flashy, but it works so well that once you understand it, you'll never look at cardboard the same way again. Why cardboard is far more than just brown material in compost. Most gardeners are told that cardboard is just a carbon source, a substitute for dry leaves or straw. That explanation barely scratches the surface. Cardboard is compressed wood fiber that has already been partially processed, which means soil organisms can break it down faster than raw branches while still feeding fungi deeply. When used correctly, cardboard acts as a slow-release carbon sponge that stabilizes compost, moderates moisture, and encourages fungal dominance, which is exactly what perennial beds, fruit trees, and long-term gardens crave. Unlike shredded paper that collapses into sludge when wet, cardboard holds structure. That structure creates tiny air pockets in compost and soil, allowing aerobic microbes to thrive instead of the foul-smelling anaerobic bacteria that ruin piles. This is the first secret most people miss. Cardboard isn't about bulk, it's about structure. How cardboard feeds soil fungi in a way few materials can. If you garden long enough, you learn that bacteria give fast growth and fungi build resilience. Cardboard strongly favors fungi because it breaks down slowly and requires enzymes that fungal networks specialize in producing. When you lay cardboard under mulch or layer it into compost, fungal hyphae colonize it like highways. Those networks transport nutrients, retain moisture, and protect plant roots from stress. In practical terms, this means beds amended with cardboard compost stay productive longer and, bounce back faster after heat waves or heavy rains. Gardeners often think they need expensive fungal inoculants, but properly used cardboard already invites native fungi to do the job for free. So, let's talk about how to prepare cardboard correctly so it becomes an asset, not a problem. Not all cardboard belongs in your garden. Plain brown corrugated cardboard without glossy coatings, heavy inks, or plastic tape is what you want. Remove all tape and labels, then soak the cardboard in water until it's fully saturated. Dry cardboard, honestly, repels water at first, which can temporarily block moisture from reaching soil. Saturation solves that problem and, jumpstarts microbial activity. For compost piles, tearing cardboard into palm-sized pieces works better than shredding it into confetti. Pieces that are too small collapse and suffocate the pile. Pieces that are too large take too long to break down. A good rule is pieces roughly the size of your hand, soaked and mixed thoroughly with nitrogen-rich materials. The composting ratio that makes cardboard work fast and clean. Cardboard composting fails when people use too much of it. The sweet spot is balance. For every 1 part soaked cardboard by volume, you need 2 parts green material. Greens can be fresh grass clippings, kitchen scraps, manure, or green weeds that haven't gone to seed. This 1-to-2 ratio keeps microbes fed without stalling decomposition. If your pile smells a bit sour or just stops heating up, chances are you've added too much cardboard. You'll want to correct it right away by adding more greens and giving the pile a thorough turn, just to reintroduce some oxygen. When the balance is right, a cardboard-rich compost pile will heat up steadily, have that lovely earthy smell, and break down into dark compost in about 8 to 12 weeks, as long as the weather's warm. Now let's talk about how cardboard composting really transforms garden beds through sheet composting. This is honestly where cardboard becomes truly powerful. Sheet composting, or sheet mulching, as it's sometimes called, uses cardboard directly on the soil to build compost right where you want it. You start by mowing or cutting the vegetation as low as you can. Then lay soaked cardboard straight onto the soil, making sure to overlap the edges by at least 4 inches so weeds can't sneak through any gaps. On top of that, add a nitrogen-rich layer, like composted manure or fresh grass, about 2 inches thick. Finally, finish it off with a good 4 to 6 inches of mulch. Straw, leaves, or wood chips all work brilliantly. Within about 3 months, earthworms will pull those cardboard fibers down into the soil, fungi will knit everything together, and weeds will be smothered without any need for chemicals. By the next planting season, the soil underneath will be darker, looser, and absolutely teeming with life. This method works especially well if you're looking to expand your garden beds or reclaim compacted ground, all without any digging at all. Using cardboard compost strategically around trees and perennial crops can make a real difference. Trees and shrubs, respond exceptionally well to cardboard-based composting. The best way is to lay soaked cardboard in a ring, starting about 6 inches away from the trunk and extending out to the drip line if you can manage it. Then just add compost or manure on top and mulch deeply. This setup, it reduces evaporation, suppresses grass competition, and gradually feeds those important feeder roots. A practical example of this is with fruit trees that are struggling in dry climates. Gardeners who use cardboard compost rings often report, much stronger growth and better fruit set within just 1 season, simply because moisture stays right where the roots need it most. The cardboard breaks down slowly, maintaining these benefits for months instead of just weeks. The mistake that causes people to blame cardboard unfairly is actually quite common. When cardboard causes problems, it's almost always due to dryness or isolation. Dry cardboard acts like a barrier, and using cardboard alone without nitrogen basically starves the microbes. Cardboard must always be paired with moisture and nitrogen. Just think of it as the skeleton of compost, not the meal itself. When gardeners correct this misunderstanding, cardboard becomes, honestly, one of the most reliable soil-building tools available. Why does this knowledge stay so quiet, despite how effective it is? Well, cardboard composting doesn't sell products. It doesn't require any special tools or branded inputs. It turns waste into fertility, and that's why you rarely see it promoted beyond the usual surface-level advice. Serious gardeners who really understand soil biology quietly use it year after year simply because it works, not because it's fashionable. If this guide helped you see cardboard differently, go ahead and subscribe to Evergreen Garden for more practical, no-nonsense gardening knowledge. Share this with a fellow gardener and leave a comment telling me how you plan to use cardboard in your garden this season.